Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 259. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mellow, and I am feeling a little mellow today as I am going to be talking about how the world is madness right now. And it's concerning in a lot of ways. All of these wildfires that are going on in Canada and it made its way to New York City and a whole lot of other places. And as you guys know, I'm from New York City, and I had to check up on my family, make sure they all right, they good. But the air quality was just not that great. And I started to think about like all that's going on in the world right now with all of these catastrophic events that are going on in different countries, in different places. There's, protests that are going on in Paris, France for quite a while, and obviously the news hasn't been covering it. And there's reasons and agendas behind that, but you guys can put the pieces together with all of that. This whole TikTok ban that's, going on, but seems like I get most of my news on TikTok and Instagram from time to time. But Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, they can control the narratives and they pay people to ban stuff. TikTok things do get banned, but it's not as prevalent. So I bring all of this stuff up because I know that these past few years have been a lot for everyone, especially for me. And I can't sit here and deny that, the past few years have changed the landscape of my life, the way I think, the way I approach things. Can I say that I'm happier where I'm living currently? Of course, without a doubt. I'm meeting good people. I'm, building connections, trying to, change the landscape of the way people approach things, go about life, all of that good stuff, right? What I want to do today is to really ask you guys, how are you guys doing mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Where are you ranking right now between 1 and 10? And wherever you are, I need you guys to think about how you can improve yourself and be better. For you, not for anyone else, right? All of the negativity and all of these fear-mongering news articles and news broadcasts and all that stuff, it's there, it's being done for a reason. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes before these newscasters get in front of the cameras. There's a lot that goes into it. It's basically called Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP. If you research it, you'll get a good feel of what goes on. And there's this place called the Tavistock Institute that prepares these news broadcasters to program you and to utilize certain language in order to get you in a certain state mentally. And I'm sharing this stuff because these are things that I've learned over the years. I majored in television production and communications in college. But when you are learning it in 2004 and 2005, and then you start seeing the world in a different light in 2023, you don't get the full perspective of what goes on with everything in TV, right? So anyway, I want you guys to think about where you are, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all that good stuff, right? Physically, I feel great. So I'm going to say out of 10, I'm going to say I'm a 9 because I get to exercise whenever I want. I get to be outdoors. Some of you guys don't get the opportunities depending on where you live. Weather changes and things of that nature. You pretty much get all 4 seasons, the majority of you. Me, I have 2 seasons. I have spring and I have summer, and that's it. It gets cool, in certain months, December, January, February, at night, where, you got to be careful. You better have a hoodie on or a jacket, or you'll get caught. But what I will say is I have really good weather for the most part. Mentally, I will say I am a 7 currently. And that's because of just certain things that I'm focused on right now in my life, things that I'm trying to make better for me and make better for others, right? So mentally, I'm at a 7. I could be better, but we all go through certain things in our minds, with ourselves and with the world, right? So the world is kind of having an effect on me a little bit right now with all this stuff that's going on, and I'm trying to gauge and figure out what's going on and why, and all these celebrities, they're there to distract you, all that good stuff. Spiritually, I'm an 8. And I am an 8 right now because I don't let too much get to me. And if you're someone that deals with a lot of that, you may need to take time and space for yourself and, get away from people that are Debbie Downers, as they say, or people that are full of negativity. And the world is full of negative people. Trust me, you can go out into this world and there's a lot of people that don't appreciate the things that they have. And then there are people who are really suffering and really going through it, and they're trying to make ends meet, or they're trying to get by, and they're actually just appreciating the very little that they do have, even though they're good people and they deserve more than what they do have, right? So, I need you guys to think about that aspect, of your life. So I've gone through where I am mentally, where I am spiritually, where physically, emotionally. Spiritually, I'm doing well for myself. Some days are better than others. But overall, yeah, I'm an 8. And I'm very happy with that. Because spiritually, I wasn't the greatest a few years ago. So, there are certain things that are going to happen the next half of this year in the world right now. And I need you all to be prepared. I tell a lot of people that this is the year of shifting in this world a lot. So if you are a spiritual person and you're an empath in any sort of way and you feel things, be alone to yourself a lot. Like, please do, because you're going to absorb a lot of people's energies and it's going to drain you. For me, I can go out and have fun and, be around people. And after a while, it's like, okay, I'm over it. And I'm going to go be by myself for a few days. So that's just the way I operate, unfortunately. I can't be around people all day, every day. It's just not my thing. And because I live alone now, man, I enjoy peace and quiet. Like, I literally can sit on my iPad and play my game right now for a good half an hour, and I'm good. And I can listen to music and I can be good. But don't worry, I still will be, jumping on here and doing my podcast and giving you guys things to think about, content to, process, and, ways to continually elevate yourself, continually grow. I don't want the world in its crazy form right now to hinder you guys from pushing toward your goals, pushing toward your dreams, your aspirations, and what you want to do with yourself in life. I don't want this world and all the negativity and all the bad to make you think that the world is just such a horrible, bad place, because there are a lot of good, beautiful things about this place that we are currently living in. And if you can get out and enjoy nature and enjoy life, please do that. If you have people around you that are motivating and inspiring, please keep them in your circle, but also make sure that they're doing well and they're doing good, and letting them know that you're proud of them and you appreciate them for who they are and what they bring to the world and what value they bring. Because those things are very, very, very important. Make sure that you are comforting people, make sure you're being kind to people. You just don't know what people are dealing with in their lives. I hear so many stories of people, and they've been through a lot in their journeys, and you start to appreciate them for who they are and the courage that they have to, have the intestinal fortitude to keep pushing and keep, getting through, and also sharing their story, because a lot of people don't. And it's a beautiful thing to see. That people are sharing their stories now. So if you have an opportunity to do that, please do, because I'm someone who wants to continually learn about people, who they are, their stories, and I want to continue to share my story. And this is why I do the podcast on a daily basis. So a lot was on my mind today. Trust me. I've been processing, this for a while, and this was a podcast that I thought about a few weeks ago, and I said, well, I'm going to do this podcast in June, and here we are. So, the world is madness right now, but don't let it get to you. Make sure that you have the basics, your necessities, make sure that you're paying your rent or your mortgage, whatever you have as far as ownership, whether you're renting, owning, whatever the case is. Make sure you have the food, make sure you have, your clothes, you have a running vehicle, and your family and friends are happy, healthy, and safe, along with healing. And we're all going to make it. We're all going to get to where we need to be. We're going to have to go through a few ups and downs, a few hurdles, but we all going to be all right. I think in the next few years, this whole world is going to shift. A lot of things are going to be exposed. A lot of things are going to happen. And you need to have an open mind to a lot of what's going on in this world that you may or may not know about. And trust me, TikTok will give you a lot. There's a lot of content creators that are doing a great job at exposing a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. So with that said, that's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, theaquarianmindpodcast.com is my website. You guys can, listen to all of my podcasts. I create special media players where you can, see, certain backgrounds, and you can, listen to my podcast there. My podcasts are all categorized, so you're able to see your Mondays with Mello, Wednesday Motivation Inspiration, Friday Book Insight, and all of my books are broken down into either the standalones, which are a few, and all of my book series. We'll be working on kind of adding some more components to my website, so stay tuned for that. If you are listening to my podcast on other platforms and you want to stick to it there, cool, do it, great, wonderful. You can drop voice messages on my Spotify, and you can drop voice messages on my website. All right, guys, have a good week. Stay tuned for Wednesday Motivation Inspiration. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.